Hi students, welcome to first year accounting class. As we are discussing about accounting concepts, that is the accounting procedures and practices which guide a accountant to record the business transactions in a systematic manner. In our previous class we have learnt about accounting principles, then the definition of accounting concepts, then I have explained about business entity concept. Okay, till this point it is over. Now here we are going to discuss about the remaining accounting concepts, among them dual aspect concept. This is a very important concept which is the foundation for dual aspect concept, is the basis for double entry system. That means in accounting we have got two systems, one is single entry system and another is double entry system, that we will discuss at the later stage. So dual aspect concept, this is the basis for foundation for a double entry system. Means if you don't know what is dual aspect concept, you can't write entries. Now what is dual aspect? Okay, remember that every business transaction, according to this dual aspect concept, every business transaction will have a receiving aspect and a giving aspect. It is compulsory. Okay, let's say from the shop, if I am purchasing this marker, so this is the receiving aspect. Marker is coming to me, so this marker is my receiving aspect. Then what do? I pay cash to the shopkeeper. So cash is the giving aspect. Clear? If I am purchasing this shirt is coming to me, cash is going out. If I am filling petrol into my car, okay, petrol is coming in, cash is going out. If I am giving service, so my energy, my knowledge is going out and I am receiving salary. Like that, every transaction you take from 1 paise, 1 rupee to 1000 crores, any transaction in the world, for any business organization, for any individual, something comes and something goes. Okay, if you buy a milk sachet, milk packet in your nearby stores, or you go to a supermarket and you buy a dairy milk chocolate, so the chocolate comes to you and your hunger or your desire is satisfied and cash is going out. So you receive some benefit and you give some benefit. So without giving any benefit, you cannot receive any benefit. Without receiving any benefit, you will not give any benefit. So remember this point. See, I am rendering my services. If I am not paid salary, I don't give services. So my receiving aspect is my salary, my income. My giving aspect is teaching. And you people, you are paying fees and you are receiving education. Your receiving aspect is education, knowledge from the college. Your giving aspect is the fees. So, for any business transaction, at any level, right from the pawn shop to a Microsoft company, Bill Gates, led by Bill Gates, an American multinational company, every business organization, in that every business transaction, in every business organization and in every business organization, every business transaction, okay, in every business organization and for every business transaction, there will be two aspects. Dual mane do. Dual means two. Okay, dual role, that means double role. So dual means two. There will be two aspects. One is the receiving aspect, the other is the giving aspect. So, in our accounting terminology, this receiving aspect is known as debit. This receiving aspect is known as debit. Many times you may be asked in interviews, what is debit? So, you have to say, the receiving aspect of a business transaction is called as debit. Even this word you might have used while preparing various ledgers, while recording various journal entries in your classes. So what is debit? We use this cash account debtor to capital account, salaries account debtor to cash account, okay, machinery account debtor to Tata Limited, debtor credit, debit credit, we have used it so many times. This is the basic terminology of accounting. But what is debit? The receiving aspect of a business transaction is called debit. What is credit? The giving aspect of a business transaction is called credit. So in short, we write debit aspect as DR, credit aspect as CR. Got it, ma'am? So that's how the debit and credit have come into picture. So for every business transaction, there will be two aspects. One is the receiving aspect and the other is the giving aspect. So this is the assumption we have to make. Every financial accountant for any sort of business organization, while recording the business transactions, he has to assume that there will be two aspects for every business transaction, and both we have to record. When we record both of these aspects, then only it is called as double entry system. Clear? Next, going concern concept. Going concern concept, third one. What is going concern? Concern is nothing but the firm, what we have established. Concern is nothing but the firm, or say the business organization, what we have established. Say if I have established the Sri Medhavi Junior College, that is my concern. That is my firm, that is my business organization. Okay. So, going concern firm means, according to this concept, while recording the business transactions into the books of accounts, the accountant has to assume that the business will last for long period of time. It will continue forever. It goes on. Going concern means chelte rehta. It doesn't mean that the Sri Medhavi College of Saidabad, that is Santosh Nagar, next year it will move to Saidabad, next year it will go to Dilsukh Nagar, next year it will go to Hayat Nagar. Not like that. Going concern means the activities what we are performing today will be continued in future also. The business organization is established with a long-term motive. That must be the assumption of the accountant. If the accountant is in in dilemma that next year this college may be there, next year this bank may not be there, whether it will be there or not, if he has got those doubts, we cannot perform accounting. Because you remember, accounting always records the past. Why do we record? In order to find out the results in future. In the month of January itself, we record all the business transactions. Why we are recording? To know the results in the future, December. So if you do not have the assumption that till December our business organization runs, in 2022 also it will be there, in 2023 also it will be there, for the next 10 years also it will be there. So if that assumption is not there and you are doubtful, you cannot do accounting. Imagine if a student who has joined the college in the month of July, August for intermediate, if they do not have the assumption that in the March there will be final examinations, they will continue the same course, the CEC or MEC courses will continue, will exist in the market for long period of time. If they do not have that assumption, will they listen the classes? Will they attend the college? Exams ही रहते कि नहीं रहते, कि कोर्स रहता नहीं रहता, कॉलेज रहता नहीं रहता, अगर ऐसा डाउट है आपको, so can we continue this association? No. So remember that every accountant has to assume that business will run for a long period of time. That is the meaning of going concern. Means the transactions which we are recording at the present are going to be used in the future to ascertain the net result of the business operations. If that future assumption is not there, accounting is meaningless. Next. Money measurement concept. Money measurement concept means a financial accountant can record only those transactions which can be expressed in terms of money. Money measurement. So in my previous class I have given the example. For example, this marker I have purchased for 20 rupees. Okay. So if I can express the value of this marker in terms of rupees, then only I can write the transaction. Sri Medhavi College has purchased such markers, 100 markers I have purchased for 2000 rupees. If 100 markers money worth is not known, so the accountant cannot record the entry. Okay, we cannot write the entry stationery account debtor to cash account. 100 markers we cannot write. We can write the entry only when the quantity converted into money. What is the value of these 100 markers? What is the value of these 500 benches available in the college? So always the transactions can be recorded only when they can be expressed in terms of money or money's worth. Why we need to take money as the unit? Why we have to express every transaction in terms of money? Because money is the universally acceptable measuring unit. Okay, it is a money can be used as a universally acceptable measuring unit. If money is not there, you cannot measure the things. For example, if you ask the accountant of Sri Medhavi Junior College that what is the profit for 2020 academic year, can they say that 10 CEC students plus 2 MPC, 4 BIPC students are our profits? Is it possible to express in that manner? If you ask a electrical shop keeper that what is your profit, can they say that my profit is 20 meters wire, 4 switches, 3 tube lights and 4 holders, 4 pipes? Does it look good to express in terms of those units? So remember one point. Go to the basic definition of accounting. What is accounting? Recording, summarizing, classifying, summarizing. How can you go for summarization? How can you add the things when they have got common measuring unit? As you know that money is the international common measuring unit. So all over the world, whether it is dollars or rupees or dirhams, whatever it may be, always the transactions are expressed in terms of money. Then only we can summarize. For example, in a shop, you purchase various items. Like say we purchase 4 t-shirts, 10 pants and 20 some saris. Is it possible to add? 34. No, it is not like that. We have to convert this into money. 4 t-shirts, 5,000 rupees. 10 pants, 10,000 rupees. 20 saris, 2 lakhs. Then 2 lakhs 15,000 is the total purchases. This we can add. This we cannot add because these are not the common units. Suppose you go to a furniture shop. They have got 20 chairs. 40 tables. Is it possible to add chairs and tables? No. You need to convert into money. So money measurement concept says that we can record only those transactions which can be expressed in terms of money or money's worth, because money is the common measuring unit all over the world. Got it? So next concepts we will learn in the next class.